The concept of the shadow self emerges from Carl Jung's profound exploration of the human psyche. At its core, the shadow represents the parts of ourselves that we keep hidden, both from the world and, most importantly, from our own conscious awareness. These are often traits or emotions we perceive as negative, such as anger, jealousy, greed, or fear. But they can also be positive aspects we have yet to acknowledge. As humans, we tend to bury these qualities deep within, creating a divide between our perceived self and our repressed desires or instincts. Acknowledging the existence of the shadow is a critical first step towards self-knowledge and personal growth. According to Jung, when we fail to confront these darker parts of our nature, they fester in the subconscious, influencing our behavior in ways that often lead to destructive or self-sabotaging patterns. Denying the shadow gives it power over us, while recognition and integration bring balance. Understanding that this dark side is not inherently evil, but rather a natural part of the human experience, is key to embracing wholeness. In Stoicism, a parallel idea exists where individuals are encouraged to examine their emotions, fears, and desires without judgment. By doing so, we learn to control what we can and let go of what we cannot, which includes our darker impulses. If you find value in our journey, please hit the subscribe button and watch until the end. You're different from the majority. Consider yourself an exception. The shadow self, much like the Stoic approach to adversity, offers an opportunity for inner strength. When properly confronted and integrated, the shadow transforms into a source of wisdom, authenticity, and personal power. Thus, the shadow self is not something to be feared, but a gateway to self-mastery. So join me as we embark on your Stoic journey with Stoic Control, where timeless truths meet everyday life. 1. Carl Jung's concept of the shadow. Carl Jung introduced the concept of the shadow as a core component of his theory of the unconscious mind. He believed that every person carries a shadow, which is the unseen, often unacknowledged part of our personality. The shadow is not limited to what we perceive as negative traits, but includes any part of ourselves that we have chosen to ignore or deny, be it strengths, desires, or hidden talents. These aspects are often repressed because they clash with our conscious self-image or societal norms, but they continue to influence our behavior from beneath the surface. Jung argued that the shadow manifests in various ways, often projecting onto others or expressing itself unconsciously in moments of stress, anger, or conflict. When we see traits we dislike in others, it may be a reflection of our own unrecognized shadow qualities. This is called projection, where the mind deflects its own uncomfortable truths onto external sources. Left unexamined, the shadow can cause us to act in ways that are inconsistent with our values, leading to feelings of guilt, shame, or anxiety. By facing the shadow, we take a step toward reclaiming these parts of ourselves and moving towards psychological wholeness. For Jung, the goal was not to eliminate the shadow, but to integrate it into our conscious awareness, a process he called individuation. Through individuation, we become more complete and self-aware individuals, capable of seeing ourselves more clearly and accepting the totality of who we are. By bringing the shadow into the light of consciousness, we are no longer controlled by it, but can harness its power. This integration fosters creativity, resilience, and authenticity, qualities that can propel us toward a deeper sense of meaning and fulfillment in life. 2. The role of the shadow in personal growth. Embracing the shadow is essential for genuine personal growth because it allows us to confront the parts of ourselves that are often the most difficult to accept. Without this confrontation, we risk living a life of denial, where we avoid facing uncomfortable truths about who we are. This avoidance can lead to stagnation, as we may unconsciously block our potential by clinging to an idealized version of ourselves. Growth, in its truest sense, requires courage, the courage to look inward and confront the darkness within. By acknowledging the shadow, we open ourselves to self-reflection and honest introspection. This act of self-awareness enables us to identify our deepest fears, insecurities, and desires, and to question the beliefs we have about ourselves. This questioning is critical because it allows us to let go of the labels and roles society has imposed upon us, which often conflict with our true nature. As we integrate these hidden aspects, we become more aligned with our authentic selves and develop a more balanced and nuanced understanding of our character. The shadow also holds tremendous potential for transformation. Often, the traits we deem undesirable are merely misunderstood or out of balance. For example, traits like aggression or selfishness, when channeled constructively, can become assertiveness or self-respect. By integrating the shadow, we learn to control and direct these energies in a positive way, enhancing our personal power. This leads to a more enriched, self-aware life where we no longer fear our dark side, but instead use it as a catalyst for personal evolution. 3. Stoicism and embracing the dark side. Stoic philosophy offers a unique perspective on embracing the darker aspects of ourselves by emphasizing rationality, emotional resilience, and self-mastery. For the Stoics, life is filled with challenges, many of which arise from within, and the key to living a fulfilled life is to face these challenges with composure and acceptance. While Stoicism doesn't directly address the shadow as Jungian psychology does, its principles align closely with the concept of embracing one's darker impulses and emotions rather than avoiding or suppressing them. In Stoicism, the practice of understanding and controlling one's emotions is central. The Stoics believed that negative emotions like fear, anger, and jealousy arise from faulty judgments about the world. By using reason and logic, we can examine these emotions, understand their source, and let go of the mistaken beliefs that fuel them. In doing so, we confront and manage our inner darkness, much like Jung's idea of integrating the shadow. This process empowers us to react less impulsively and more wisely, turning what was once a weakness into strength. The Stoic practice of amor fati, love of fate, also plays a role in this transformation. Rather than resisting our darker emotions and experiences, Stoicism teaches us to accept them as part of our human existence. By accepting and even loving our flaws and struggles, we cease to see them as obstacles and begin to understand them as opportunities for growth. This mindset allows us to confront our shadow with a sense of purpose, ultimately finding freedom in the acknowledgement of our imperfections. 4. Understanding your dark side for self-mastery. Understanding your dark side is an essential component of self-mastery because it helps you gain control over the unconscious forces that influence your behavior. When left unchecked, these shadow aspects can undermine your goals and disrupt your relationships, manifesting in self-sabotage, resentment, or uncontrolled emotional outbursts. Self-mastery begins when you develop the awareness and discipline to face these inner demons, understanding where they come from and how they influence your life. This process of self-mastery requires a delicate balance between acceptance and control. It's not about repressing your dark side or pretending it doesn't exist, but about acknowledging it and learning how to manage it constructively. The more you understand the origins of your shadow, the less power it has over you. For instance, recognizing that your tendency toward anger stems from unresolved past wounds allows you to address the root cause rather than being consumed by the emotion. Through this understanding, you can transform these impulses into sources of strength and resilience. Achieving self-mastery through shadow integration is a lifelong journey, one that requires continuous self-reflection and emotional discipline. It's about cultivating the ability to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, using your emotions and instincts as tools rather than being ruled by them. This form of mastery leads to greater emotional intelligence, deeper relationships, and an overall sense of inner peace. By facing your shadow head-on, you free yourself from the shackles of unconscious fears and move closer to realizing your full potential. 5. How to integrate your shadow into everyday life. Integrating your shadow into everyday life involves actively engaging with the parts of yourself that you typically avoid. This begins with self-reflection and honesty. Take the time to observe your thoughts, behaviors, and emotional responses throughout the day, particularly in challenging situations. These moments often reveal your shadow at work, whether it's a feeling of jealousy towards a colleague, a sudden burst of anger, or a desire to control a situation. Instead of dismissing these feelings, ask yourself where they are coming from and what they may be trying to teach you about yourself. The next step is to practice acceptance without judgment. Everyone has a shadow, and confronting it doesn't mean that you are flawed or bad. It means that you are human. Once you've identified your shadow aspects, acknowledge them with compassion. For instance, if you find that you have a deep-seated fear of failure rather than pushing it away, explore it. What past experiences might have contributed to this fear? How does it affect your decisions today? By understanding these root causes, you can begin to release their hold over you. Finally, find ways to channel your shadow constructively. Once you've accepted these aspects of yourself, look for healthy outlets to express them. If your shadow includes suppressed creativity, allow yourself to explore new creative endeavors. If it includes anger, find a productive way to release this energy, such as through physical activity or honest communication. The goal of integration is not to rid yourself of your shadow, but to transform it into a source of strength and wisdom that enriches your life. 6. The benefits of facing your dark side. Facing your dark side offers a myriad of benefits, primarily in terms of personal growth, emotional resilience, and inner peace. By acknowledging and integrating your shadow, you remove the unconscious barriers that may be holding you back. This self-awareness allows you to navigate life with greater clarity, making decisions that are more aligned with your true self, rather than being driven by fear or repressed emotions. As you confront and accept your darker impulses, you gain a deeper understanding of your motivations, enabling you to act with greater integrity. Another significant benefit of shadow integration is improved relationships. When you are at peace with your own dark side, you are less likely to project your unresolved emotions onto others. This means fewer conflicts and misunderstandings in your interactions. You become more empathetic and accepting of others' flaws because you have done the hard work of accepting your own. As a result, your relationships become more authentic and fulfilling as you can engage with others from a place of honesty and mutual understanding. Finally, facing your dark side fosters emotional resilience. Life is unpredictable and challenges are inevitable. But when you have faced your own shadow, you are better equipped to handle external difficulties. You become more grounded, less swayed by negative emotions, and more capable of seeing obstacles as opportunities for growth. This resilience enables you to remain calm in the face of adversity and continue moving forward with purpose, knowing that you have already confronted and overcome the most difficult battle, the one within yourself. In conclusion, your dark side is not your enemy. It is an integral part of who you are. When understood and embraced, it becomes a powerful tool for personal empowerment. Both Jungian philosophy and Stoicism teach us that life's greatest challenges often come from within. By recognizing and integrating the shadow self, we move from a place of inner conflict to one of inner harmony, where our full selves, light and dark, work in unison toward a richer, more authentic life. Using your dark side as a tool for empowerment means harnessing its energy for positive change. Rather than suppressing your emotions or impulses, you learn to work with them, transforming them into strengths. This requires a deep commitment to self-awareness, emotional discipline, and ongoing introspection. But the rewards are immense. A more complete understanding of who you are, a greater sense of purpose, and the ability to navigate life's complexities with wisdom and resilience. If you found value in our journey together, we humbly ask that you express your support by liking and subscribing. Your thoughtful reflections and insights are welcome in the comments below. Share this wisdom with others, and remember that the journey of shadow integration is about finding balance. It's not about becoming perfect or eliminating your flaws, but about embracing the full spectrum of your humanity. In doing so, you unlock your true potential, stepping into a life of greater freedom, authenticity, and personal power. Your dark side, when befriended, becomes a source of light in your life, guiding you toward a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you.